I thought of something good. I think it's stuff in the weird spot. Sabotage tactic, or at least scare tactic. All the medical providers, grab some syringes with needles on the end. Have them full of saline or succinylcholine, whatever. That will probably be a deterrent. Okay, for today's resistance tip, I vote, anybody got any poison ivy, poison oak in their yard? Get some of that up with gloves, obviously. Get it in some water, like a gallon of water. Get the poison ivy oak water, and I'm gonna put it into a water gun. Aim for faces, hands. All right, the single ladies where these ICE guys are going have a chance to do something, not without risk, but could help the cause for sure. Get on Tinder, get on Hinge, find these guys. They're around. If they're an ICE agent, bring some X-Lax and put it in their drinks. Get them sick. Nobody's gonna die. Just enough to incapacitate them, get them off the street for the next day. Highly easily deniable. You could get sick too. Won't eat there again. I'm just saying, let's get them where they eat. Somebody's not going to be supporting these guys. Where's the hotel where they eat? Who makes that breakfast? Let's find them.
You're probably going to disagree with me, but I think the more shocking part of it all is the confidence in saying it, because anybody with a brain could recognize how much work it goes into being in the medical field. You can scoff at it as much as you want, but there are people dedicating years of their life learning the craft just so that they could become doctors, nurses, physicians, all these things. And you're willing to piss it away by getting on camera and essentially telling people to start drugging and making people overdose on substances, not recognizing that all of those, even the laxatives, could potentially lead to death. And you being in the medical field, I think you understand proper measurements and what's the amount of dosage of this or how many pills a day for that. You're telling untrained people to go on dates, find out if these dates are ICE agents or supporters of ICE, and then spiking whatever food, drinks they consume and leave them to essentially deal with the pain of being drugged by some moron who got convinced that the only way that you could stop these people is to kill them or give them a bunch of organ failure. That is not smart. And we could get to the crescendo because we knew once this person felt so bold enough to post this in uniform and seemingly at a place of work, people were going to find out where she worked. And they did. And the job found out. And at first it was administrative leave. And then probably a half a second later, fired, because nobody would in their right mind would want somebody on their crew that would get on camera and try to persuade people and tell them how to inject or what to inject into people that disagree with them politically. I truly thought when that one woman violated those children and blamed it on her weight loss, that would be the crescendo of all the stupid things that I could ever hear about. I truly thought nothing could top that, but getting on camera in uniform at the hospital and telling people to essentially start drugging others is the dumbest shit imaginable. And again, the sick part might truly be the confidence in it, because you'll get boosted and boasted by people who will sit there and say, yay, and they won't do a fucking thing. They won't risk it because they don't want to go to jail. Because if it just so happens to be a scenario where cameras are present and they see you on a date with somebody and then they see you spiking said drink, or they see you in the back alley injecting them with a needle, you are going to go to jail because you're not the sleuth that you might think you are. You're a moron online taking advice from dumb motherfuckers who aren't doing the thing that they tell you to do. Because let's be honest, this dumb bitch not doing any of what she sat there and said for others to do. It's another one of these people dedicated to the gimmick of hoping other people do the thing, because if they do the thing, I feel like the conquering hero. I feel like the person who's got it all figured out. You got nothing figured out. You are signing people up to essentially be called murderers and think those little coy excuses are going to work out in the court of law. No, they will look at that and they will see what you said and tie those two things together, and boom, some dumb bitch who you tried to inspire is in jail now. Congratulations, you've helped nothing. And the whole time, Mexicans are still being deported. So you've essentially signed a few people up to potentially suffer from organ failure or death. All the while, nothing in the world has truly changed, and you have failed to actually keep your job in the long run. And you could sit there and say, oh, Leon, it's not about the money. It's about people standing up for what's right. Drugging people is not what's right. No matter how much you want to try to spin it and make it look cool, you look like a dumbass and a dumbass supporter of a dumbass. So congratulations, you fucked up again trying to be a hero. When I said wipe the whiteboard and come up with something new, I didn't mean have people advocate for drugging other people. I didn't mean that. I meant figure out a real way to speak your change into existence. But no, you motherfuckers are more interested in a little bit of fan fiction murder because that's the only way that could satisfy your flesh. That's a sad life, and I wish you ultimately the worst because you are trying to plan the worst or orchestrate the worst for other people. Regardless of these pissant political sides, getting on camera and advocating for people to be drugged is stupid. Glad we could have that conversation. I hope this bitch never is allowed near a hospital ever again. I hope this bitch is banned from the Band-Aid section in every fucking store because she's unfucking trustworthy and she's a lunatic. But let me know, is it possible she's right? Of course not. Subscribe to the channel. I will see you all in the next one. Mwah. Goodbye.